You know, at the end of that last video, I was talking about Ariga's Skullman, because that's, like, the famously dark one. But thinking about it, holy shit, that entire series is real sad sometimes. Like, Copy Mega Man and Dark Moon and just... God damn it. And that's sad. Capcom ever wanted to make an alternate universe that was based on those comics. Oh boy, would I be into that. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, just like an animated adaptation of
Oh my god, just... He's so good. That said, there's actually a really cool, I always forget which one it is. It might be the Dreamwave series, but there's another X manga that has some really cool artwork in it. That's all I'll say about that. Look at those Sigma Nazi banners in the background.
Hollow banners.
Oh, they are hollow banners. That's great. Visuals in this game are great. I wish I liked this game. I'm kind of getting to that burnt out point, and we're just watching Chill Penguin get lit on fire, so did you have any other things you wanted to bring up for me, or...
No, that was it.
Sandpapering my throat by talking nonstop.
No, we can end the series here. There's nothing more to see.
You're not helping me. We'll get that voice clip, though. Actually, I think they made Chill Penguin a little harder in this game, which also kind of seems like a Y thing. Like, he's sort of intentionally supposed to be the easy boss.
Why make him harder and Mandrill easier?
With his weapon. I don't know. There's a lot of weird touches in this that just don't make sense. I feel like we're getting repetitive right now. You gotta have more questions for me. There's gotta be something for hypothetical.
How does Day of Sigma rank as added content versus all that additional modes added in Power Down?
So, admittedly, having something like Day of Sigma, I think, is really, really impressive and cool. The fact that we got an actual half-hour-long episode viewable on our channel.
I think it's still on the channel.
You know, it is. I think it's the best version on YouTube. Click here. That kind of thing is really cool, and I definitely am not going to say that it's like a small feat to have it in there. I think I would have Oh, God, that's really hard. To say I would have preferred other playable characters means I don't get a really good animated piece of Mega Man content.
And then we can't edit Domo screaming Sigma.
True.
You should check out our channel if you haven't. We make retarded shit occasionally.
Sometimes. But it's usually on model to what we're doing. Just saying. You've ruined it again.
Choosing between sweet animation or playing as more characters.
Right. So, on the one hand, Day of Sigma does a lot of things right. Like, I think one of the high points of this entire project is the scene you get in that where Dr. Light is working on X, and the two actually interact briefly. It's so good and so sad and, like, so well acted, and it's no part action at all. Like, X is just laying on a bed, incomplete, being worked on, and it's, like, some of the best world building the entire series has, because it's a layer that you could kind of infer, but you never actually got anywhere, even in the manuals. And, like, that was just perfect. Like, I wouldn't change a single thing about that. But then, conversely, and I think now is about the right time to start bringing this up, that OVA also kills off Dr. Kane. And you could maybe argue that, like, well, he doesn't actually die, it's just a flash of light coming through. But then, a nuclear warhead basically goes off and envelops a building, and then it cuts to him saying, like, Reploids, mankind's hubris? No. And then, like, just getting engulfed in light. So, Dr. Kane's probably dead. And while, and I mentioned this earlier, that's the kind of change that in this game, fine, what does it alter? It really doesn't matter, because Dr. Kane doesn't actually show up in this game. He's just kind of the instruction manual prologue. He's the one that finds X and makes Reploids out of X's schematics and kind of dooms humanity to his hubris, which, A, doesn't read well with, or his line doesn't read well off of that, because him saying mankind's hubris is him kind of, like, pushing off his own responsibility while he's dying because of something that is really his fault. He's the one that makes Sigma. He's the first Reploid based on X's schematics. He's supposed to be like the perfect peacekeeper, and by all rights, it's Dr. Kane's fault that he's exploding in that moment. But he says, mankind's hubris. It's like, no, it's yours! You did this! This is your fault!
Oh, I can't remember if it was in the irregular or the Hunter version, but at the end of X8, when you get Dr. Light's message, we have a nice long discussion about who's ultimately
Yeah,
at
yeah.
fault and
I
like
think-
the legacy of Dr. Light. And shit. You should
Yeah.
check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, it's good. I'll probably end up repeating some of it by accident here. But, so, going back to what I was saying initially, because we're about to hit a really important part I want to try to get through it real quick. If Dr. Kane dies here, it doesn't matter that much. But moving forward, he's the one that starts Repliforce and is ultimately the commander that makes the call. He's ultimately the commander of the Maverick Hunters that makes the call to consider Repliforce Maverick. And the reason Cygnus shows up in X5 onward is because after the Repliforce incident, Dr. Kane feels so guilty. On paper, it's never actually said anything in the game, so take this with a grain of salt if you want. This is my canon, because it's canon, and I'm right and you're not. He steps down because he no longer feels fit to make sound military decisions for this organization that by all rights is just like holding the fate of the world in its hands. And that's where we get Cygnus from, and I'm not saying that Cygnus is a great or deep character, but that event still happens. So, if we kill off Dr. Kane, that means that there has to be an entire rewrite on why the Repliforce incident happens, and I guess really you don't. I don't know. It's probably me overthinking the narrative standpoint, but it still really bothers me that, but why did you have to kill off Dr. Kane? Why was that decision made? What does that benefit? He shows up. Oh no, that's the other thing. He's the one that repairs Zero in X2.
Yeah.
So, that has to get rewritten. It's just, it's not a necessary change.
I don't... is it ever stated that it's canon with Maverick Hunter X or anything? Or is it just meant to be a one-off... We should do this just to make it...
the video?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's totally supposed to be, hours before the events of this game.
Yeah, because I could see it as,
Maybe not hours.
well, this feels right as a standalone thing narratively to have the old man hubris' way to whatever.
No.
But
And again, you could have just argued that he's, seeing the light of the explosion through his window, but
no.
it gets way too heavily implied. And then again, it smash cuts to a building going off, so it just doesn't work.
No, if you're close...
I think this treatment's a little better. We shouldn't talk over this
I'm
part.
always telling you to be more careful. But now look at me.
Don't waste your energy talking, Zero. We gotta fix you up.
There's
Dramatic.
no time for that. Cygnus is close. Very close.
Zero.
Go now. Maverick Hunter X.
I think that line's a little hokey, but it works because this is kind of when he comes into his own as a Maverick Hunter, since he was basically Zero's trainee up until this point, so I will let it pass. I like that exchange better than the original, all things considered. I think it conveys a little bit more emotion, it makes you care a little bit more about it, because it's more like them talking together as equals, as opposed to Zero just kind of saying, I can't fix myself, X, you can do it. And, I think a lot of that is just the strength of the voice acting and the music reprisal and everything, but I don't know. To me, that's just a little bit more of a better sequence. And I will say, regardless of the reasons why they did it, gameplay or otherwise, I really prefer this being at the end of this stage, right before Sigma. I think thematically it fits better, and I appreciate that change, even if that's not the reason they did it. It works better overall.
Too bad you immediately have to deal with D-Rex right after.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, is I almost wish that you could transplant D-Rex as a mid-boss or something in place of, I don't know exactly what I was talking about there. It's already been, another 14-minute video. I'm tired.
Well, I was really scared that I missed a death in there. It's oh god, it's getting really low. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, D-Rex, hits like a bus overall in the original, but he was...
Like a T-Rex tank?
Yes. Yeah. Also, I appreciate the fact that you can replay the Sigma Fortress stages over as well, similar to the... It's basically like the modern X games. X8 was a good template for the stage mechanics in this way.
Do you want to talk about this since we're skipping it?
Oh, yeah, so the refill point is just, insufferable in this one. It feels like they changed the drop rates and the energy recharge rates, and I hate it. It just took way too long to ever refill. It's the whole point of those enemies being there, and it's a thing that everybody did in the original, so to make it take, no joke, probably 8 times as long, was just again, but why? This is a change you didn't need to make, this benefits nobody.
There's like a 1 in 5 drop chance for health or something like that.
Jesus, I have no idea. I didn't look at the rates. I just know it felt like garbage, and that's what matters. Like, there's certain points in game design where it shouldn't come down to like, well, the numbers add up. It's like, I don't care. Is it fun? Like, is it a fun thing to do? Because if it's not, just don't fucking do it. Like, you're already doing this because you're filling up for a fight that you know is going to be really difficult, and then they're there to make sure that you can refill your sub-tanks again if you die. Hold on, I shouldn't talk over these reads because they're so good.
Really think? You say you believe in justice, but that's not true. You've only been led to think that. Nothing more. I'll take you on.
It doesn't happen until after this portion of the fight, but I want to quote it now, so I'm not talking over the reads, because they're probably some of my favorite reads in the game. Call out to... I wish I had the name offhand. I didn't think I was going to be mentioning any of this. There was either a comment on one of our edited Domon X videos, or in the LP thread on Something Awful. Either way, if whoever made this comment is watching, know that I appreciate and love you. Because somebody basically mentioned in response to X yelling Sigma in these voice acting bits. See if I can do it word for word. It was basically along the lines of, oh right, I forgot and am glad that there was a point in X's history where a voice actor made him sound ready to fuck the Earth in half to kill Sigma, or something like that. Like, it was really just the fuck the Earth in half because Sigma is just like, that's such a good description of that I could have never come up with. So know that I still think about that line and appreciate you very much.
That voice clip came from Day of Sigma,
Yes.
not one of these voice
Either
reads.
way, it's the same. He does similar reads.
I think that was also one of my favorite edits to put together, too.
That's a good one.
Like, that one just... I know it was just... Let's slap faces over anime, but
Those
I
were a
really
good
love
time.
the end Twitter thing. I don't know why. It's
Oh,
just...
it's just so good. Okay, here we go.
Magnificent X.
The
To
finale.
think you've been classified as a B-class hunter.
Sigma, your Maverick plan stopped right here!
Cool.
Giggle.
I really like this animation touch with the Graticlaw. The way it kind of like snaps up into place. And I love the fact that you can see it the whole time and then it gets revealed like this. Like, it's going to unfold out and
Oop.
Sigma's just like, nope! Ow!
It's not over yet, X. The battle, the angst, the destruction. I will make
Says
you
people who want to
understand
kill
the
everybody.
true potential of Reploid.
I'll finish this! Right here, right now! I will defeat you, Sigma!
I love it! So good! So we got a couple changes to this fight that should be pretty obvious. Not the least of which is everything feels like it hits way harder. They already hit real hard. Also in this, there are points where the hands will be so close to the wall that if you continue wall kicking to get up into the top corner, you'll actually come off the wall enough to hit the electricity, which is why you see me sliding down a lot more in this one. And he does them so frequently that I do not find it worth it at all to risk standing on top of the hands based on his movements, which I don't know if I can say that bothers me or not. Like, I think it makes it a little bit more of a dynamic fight, but it doesn't feel like it takes any more or less time, so I can't really read if it was good changes or not. I do like that attack in that, you know, he's getting an extra one, which everyone got. I assume Spark Manuel got something like that. He dies too fast for me to actually know for sure. But, you know, it wouldn't have made any sense to not give Final Sigma some extra shit.
Right.
Even though I don't think First Sigma does anything, but you don't really need to do much with that fight, so it's whatever. And I like that it kind of provides you extra openings to go for extra damage. High risk, high reward. Because right now I'm able to kind of wait for those to creep over and just get like a free hit off on them if I want to, you know, not worry about timing. It's not overly hard. I did die a couple times here, I think, originally, just because I was getting used to how the hands moved around and where the hitboxes were at, which...
Not in this run, but in the
in a previous run. Oh, right, is that, like, did we... We didn't record, right? That was it?
Yeah, like
We got-
something fucked up with our recording.
I just think we didn't hit the record button. We got all the way through the entire game, and I think we actually had it recorded like this LP, because we were going to do it as a bonus video originally, or bonus series. And then I looked over when we finally finished up, and you clicked the stop button, and instead of going from recording to stop, or whatever. It was the opposite. So like you hit the button and it started recording. So it just kind of like, without even looking away from the monitor, we didn't record. He was like, yeah, we did. Let me check. And you like went into the folders. God damn it! We just like that was the end of our night. This was, I think, like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but like it got the first 20 minutes and then something happened.
Oh, it did actually get the first 20?
Yeah, but it's like, of those first 20 was like my desktop and shit, so
Oh my god!
I don't know what the fuck happened.
Anyway, that's Sigma. Sorry we want to do a personal anecdote, but
Oh man, could you imagine if this continued to like X3 and you got Battle Body Sigma in this art style?
I'd be okay with that purely because I think it would have made it a more interesting fight. But anyway, we get more good animation. Oh, so I feel bad because we're going to hit the credits and we're probably going to have to talk over Black because I don't want to talk over this final speech that happens because it's really, really cool and good. But yeah, the animated content in this game is a great treat. Like, I wish we got a series. I know that's greedy of me, and obviously I'm going to say that because it's my favorite character in my favorite game series, but it would work so well. And this is just proof of that. Just don't retcon the bunch. God damn it.
What's this?
So we get some good insight. I'm going to put both my headphones on and listen to it.
My name is Thomas Light. I am the researcher who designed and built Mega Man X.
So, from what I remember, this is basically just him reading the Lights notes from the intro of the original game. Like the warning when Dr. Kane opens the capsule up or finds it.
Think, worry, and act entirely of his own accord. This means that he is also imbued with the materials necessary to facilitate the evolution of robots in the same manner as life.
Just so good.
It is an unfortunate fact that human life is short and fleeting. I fear that I will not have the time to ensure the safety of the X project. That is why I have decided to seal him away. Perhaps he will be discovered in the far-flung future and will fight valiantly to ensure peace for all people.
It's just such a good idealistic message.
I firmly believe that this will come to pass. But I am not without worry. I fear that X will be swept up in the war we call progress. I urge the people of the future to remember that X is the world's hope.
Just gives me chills every time. Not even ashamed. But yeah, so thank you everybody. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. That was Maverick Hunter X. It is my gift to you.
If you are just viewing our channel for the first time, we have every X series game recorded twice. Because we are masochists and decided to do a comedy Let's Play of every game and an informative Let's Play of every game, so...
Or if you're still joining us, then, thanks. That's it, really. Like, I've talked about these into the ground so much that, the fact that we even decided to go through another LP-style video series is kind of amazing to me. Especially considering the fact that this was our easy out. So...
Yeah, let's talk about Mega Man for about 2 hours. Can do.
Yeah, it's just, it never gets old for me. I'm sure you love it too.
It's fun discussing game design and story and shit.
Yeah. Ultimately, at some point, there's a good chance that I will kind of refine some of the thoughts about this game that I talked about into the video that we were originally going to release for this year's Xmas. But I can't promise a specific time or... date or anything for that, so...
we promised Pikmin would come out this year in December of last year. And it's still coming.
Moving and scheduling and stuff like that. But yeah, it is in works. We're deep into recording it, so it is happening. And for next year's Xmas, we'll try to come up with something in a more timely manner, even though that's technically what we said last year. We did do better this year, but really only on a technicality.
So what you're saying is we'll run out of time and just do Vile Mode instead.
Oh, I hope not. We'll talk about Vile Mode another time in one of those hypothetical videos that will get made at some point when we eventually release Pikmin, maybe. Yes. Oh, all right. I think we're done. I hope your holiday was more cohesive and decisive than this outro.
A very decisive holiday, yes.
And, Canon New Year. I don't know. I'm done. I'm gonna go outside.
Alright.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Happy holidays.